made myself to another Jeep shed. I've been here before. It belongs to Tim. Some really good Jeep stuff here. So we're gonna check out some different stuff today. Have a look around, talk to Tim about his few projects he's got going. And the first one we're gonna start with is this CJ7. So I'll drag Tim around here. We've got the dog helping out. I'll drag Tim around and we'll start on this 7. So Timbo, thanks for showing us around.
No problems, Michael.
Nice little CJ7 here. As you can see, it's a base model. So tell us about it.
I was lucky to buy this about 12 years ago. A mate of mine rang me in the morning, said, hey, something's just been listed on eBay.
Yep.
And it wasn't far from work, so panic stations, run around, got a trailer, raced home, got some cash.
Nice.
And rolled up at this bloke's joint. And he was really good. He was a school teacher. He said, oh, I can be home there at lunchtime. So I met him at lunchtime. And as soon as he opened the door, all you could see is what you can see here. And it was like, here's the money.
Yeah.
Didn't argue the price, just took it. And it's a great story. Well, I think it's a great story. It's I'm the second owner. The town I grew up in, Traralgon, the guy was actually a teacher next door to the school, the tech school I went to. He taught at the Catholic school.
Yeah.
And anyway, I seen the Jeep as a kid. And I didn't know until we started talking. He said, oh, I was a teacher at Traralgon. And I said, joking. He goes, I brought it from Traralgon. That's where I grew up. And I was born there even. And he said it came from the Ford dealership. They had the Jeep dealership at the same time. He said it was a demo model. They ran it around for a bit. They struggled to sell it because back then the price of these were pretty expensive.
Yep.
Compared to an FJ40 or something. And so they had it for a little bit. They tizzed it up with the Hawk stickers. So it's not a Hawk, but they had a Hawk sticker kit.
Yep.
They tried to tiz it up. He actually brought it in the end. And he had it for years. And he said he taught his kids to drive in it. It is a bog standard, no power brakes, no power steering, not even a radio. It's even got the blank out plate. It hasn't got a cover on the dials. Michael will show you the inside later. And it's genuine 76,000 kilometres. Yeah, it's a cool little Jeep. It drives great. You know, you got to remember when you're driving it that you got to turn the steering wheel and you got to pump the pedal because it doesn't stop or turn without it. But it's a cracker. And so I picked it up. I've taken it home. And really, the only two things I've done to it, I cleaned up. He was really. I was wrapped he did this. The only thing he did to it was had a stereo, but he made a little wooden box and he didn't put it into dashes, didn't cut anything. He just had a little box in the back and he had a little seat in the back, not a factory seat. He had some other seat mounted. I took the seat out. I think I gave it to you in the end actually.
Yep. And
I took the speakers out and it's all just original now. I don't even think, what I can see, the top's never been off it.
Okay.
It's been around a bit. He told me he took it to Alice Springs back then. It was Ayers Rock. He's taken it there on a trip. And he used to be a skier, so he spent a bit of time going up and down to Hotham to the ski fields in it. And I've driven it myself to a classic one time at Morrisset.
Yep.
And hey, it's the cheapest car I own to run. I cannot believe how good it is on juice. A little bit gutless, but it's a cracker. I really like it. And the only other thing I've done, two things I've done. Gary, when I first brought it, I took to my mate Gary Thompson. He just went through the engine. He tried to give it a little bit more horsepower by blocking some pollution gear off and gave it a good little tune. Just went through it because I had to get it roadworthy. He sorted all that out for me. And then the only thing I did, I had another set of tyres and rims off another project. They're 31s. I put them on it because it came with the original rims and tyres, 600s, 16s. They're tiny. I don't know what they measure, like 28s or something ridiculous like that.
And the spare still.
The spare, you'll see that in a minute.
We'll show you that later. the spare, that's what they look. And he's still got the original wheels and tyres.
Yeah, so it's just original. I don't try to pretty it up anyway. Sits in the shed. It might get driven once or twice a year, unfortunately. I should drive it more. No excuses not. It's just being lazy, probably. But it's a cracker. And Mike will give you a look around.
It's been seen a bit, so some Jeep enthusiasts would have seen it at some of the events, some of the Victorian events. It's been out there and seen. So, as Tim said, standard. We've got a pretty standard one at home as well, and as you said, good on fuel.
Yeah.
We brought ours down to an event down here. I think we got about 10 litres per 100 or something.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Really good. And that's a great story, and good to see it still here. So I'll grab the camera, and Robin wouldn't get out of bed, out of the caravan, so I've got to do some videoing. So we'll give you a look under the bonnet, and we'll keep moving around. We've got the bonnet up. I'm going to have a look under here. Fire away, Tim.
So under here, like, it's not tidy, and I don't pretty things up. It's the way I got it. I have got a new replacement hose that's just been bodged up, which is a bit ordinary, but apart from that, it's all original under here. It's not perfect from any means. Bit of firewall leakage from the brake master cylinder. Project for one day, but apart from that, it's all original. The only thing I think I'm missing under here is the wheel brace. It's got the original jack, and apart from that, that's it. There's no more than what you see under here. It's all there. Even, they're a bit manky nowadays, but the original stickers are still here. It's a little 4-cylinder. They call it an Iron Duke, and if we can get Mikey down here, it's funny to look at, but it's pretty hard to see. It's actually got a Chevy V8 distributor in it, and it misses every second point for the spark plugs, because the rumour is this is half a 350. Oh, not a 350, a 305, because this is a 2.5, I think. It's got plenty of go. It's fun to drive. I reckon the gearing in the diffs could be a little bit lower. They're a bit tall. It feels like you're slipping the clutch when you take off a little bit in it.
Yep.
But once you're on the highway, I can sit on the 100. Takes sometimes a little bit to get there. The hills knock it around, because, as I said, if the gearing just went up one step, I think it would be a lot better. And I haven't helped it by putting the bigger tyres on. Probably drove better with, like everything does, with the original tyres. But it looks cooler with these tyres, I think. I've got a bit of a big tyre syndrome, so yeah. It's narrow track, as you can see, because it's got no flares.
I were looking before, and it's got the compliance plate down here on the guard. It's an 81. So we think, well, as most of the Jeeps we look at, it's always up here on the firewall. But I don't think there'd be enough room up there for it, Tim, and it doesn't look like any original holes. So if you know what's going on here, let us know in the comments. If you've seen it down there before, well, that was a place for the base models. Yeah, if you've got any ideas, let us know. That's the original spare, and that's the way that the rims and tyres looked when Tim picked it up, which was on the base models. Very tidy inside here, looks really good. Tim, you were telling us about the guy had put a stereo in it in a box. Where was that sitting?
Just in the middle here. It was pretty ordinary done, but it was good in the fact that he didn't cut any holes in the dash.
Yep.
It was just in a chipboard box. Had a couple of speakers. I think the speakers from memory were in two separate little boxes, and the head unit was in a box. And he just had some wires tucked up and found some 12 volt, and that was about it. So that's the original blank off plate that came with them.
Yep.
Still got the, it's got the original cigarette thing. Doesn't even look like a smoker's put a smoke in it.
Little lighter there, cigarette lighter next to it.
Yeah. That's
Oil
it.
gauge, volt gauge.
Yeah, there's no tack or no clock, because again, base model.
The paint's great, isn't it?
Oh, the paint's unreal.
This inside paint, it's been kept inside when he hasn't used it.
Yeah, he told me that he had it outside for a short period when he moved house one week, and he had a tarp on it, and he said, like all Jeeps, they leak, and he quickly moved it inside. I think from memory under this footwell, there's some surface rust on this side. Yeah, I can see it. I've done a treatment years ago on it, but I've never had it outside. And I've thrown some Best-Top seat covers on it. They'll just protect what was there. Of course, the passenger one's a mid-seat. This one, I think, has got a slight rip in it. And the other thing, there's a bit of sticky tape that I've never been able to get off on the roll bar back there. I've taken the sticky tape off, but the sticky stuff's still there. Mm-hmm. But apart from that, it's even still got the roof rubber, which is pretty rare. They usually get lost. That's why I think that the top's never been off. And in the corners, where the doors meet, where the soft top meets the window, Michael, you might be able to show you around there. There's a bit of a corking there. Yep. And that's still there. And usually that's an indicator if the top's been off. The corking. Is the corking on that side?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah. So I've sort of assumed with those little couple of things that its top's never been off. He was the sort of bloke who owned it, wouldn't have fiddled much with it. It was just a car to him really that was a four-wheel drive.
No, really good inside. No, looks good. All right, we're going to go in the back and have a look. We'll get Tim to open up the tailgate. Make sure he remembers how to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just natural, isn't it?
So it's even got the funky old original first gas struts. You look at them and think, God, they're massive compared to these days. But they're still working. This is a bit I like to show off a bit. The back floor in this. You never see a Jeep really like this. I'll get a light maybe. Can you see that, Mike?
Yeah, I might just grab that light. Even the tailgate, inside paint's still in good condition.
Yeah. The only thing on the back here that we're looking at, as I said before, he actually got someone to put a seat in the back. So I've filled the holes, and these mark points must have been something to do with when they mounted the seat in the back, because it wasn't, as I said before, an original Jeep back seat.
Yep.
But the condition in the back and the carpet, I'm not sure if that's an aftermarket kit or what.
Would the base have had carpet, you think?
Probably not. It probably would have just had mats, and it doesn't look like factory carpet because there's no really underlay or anything. So I'm not really. Again, someone might be able to tell us what's the deal.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's nearly it. Underneath, it's never had a suspension kit or anything on it. It's all original height. It's great to hop in and out. It's at the right height. You're not stretching your legs and pulling a hamstring. It's easy to get in.
So still run the, well, of course, it's still got the original diffs, 30 in the front and AMC 20 in the rear. And what gearbox? 4-speed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the, I think they call it the Peugeot one, is that right? You got to push down and find reverse, which is up to the left.
Yep.
I think they call it the Peugeot 4-speed, I'm not really 100%. But it drives, as I said, drives nice.
A little bit of patina here on the bonnet, which just shows its original paint. Sitting underneath the right sign. No, that's great, Tim. Well, I think the next thing we've got to do is go for a drive.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So, might be able to fit in a cup of tea first.
Hey, I'll get a can of Pepsi. So we'll be right.
Pepsi and a cup of tea.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Mike, we're going.
We're going for a drive. Had a cup of tea. I'll give this back to Robin. Actually got Robin out of bed. She's on the video. And we'll go. Tim?
Oh, looks like about 85.
85.
We'll try to get it. Oh, we're coming up to a 60. I think we might get 90 before that 60 though.
We've got our windows down, so we get a bit of wind noise. But other than that, the Jeep runs quiet. Little 4-cylinder just puts along. As Tim said before, and we know from one we've got home, they're just such a pleasure to drive. These little 4-cylinders, they're quiet. Yeah, standard suspension. Nice, small tyres, just great. So we've got to keep these standard ones standard because there's few and far between them now, and it's really enjoyable. Definitely don't need air conditioning.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Nice little drive here in the country. Trying to get my hair flicking in the wind. Can't seem to do that. Nothing like being out in a CJ7.
Even on a hot day, it's not too bad.
No noisy V8, no big exhaust, no big tyres wandering all over the road. Very pleasant. Anyway, I'm going to stop up here. I'll get Tim to stop so I can have a drive back up the mountain. So we'll work on that. Well, I finally got the driver's seat. It's hard to push the big fella out, but I'm here. Really enjoyed driving the CJ. Just gonna head back now. Thanks for the drive, Tim.
No problems, Michael. Thanks for the fun for the day. It's been awesome.
I've been out travelling in my, oh, just missed a turn. Jeez.
I'll just go keep going down the road.
I've been travelling for about a month in the Dodge Ram, so I've had a couple of Jeep fixes along the way with different people, so it's been good. So I've got another one the last few days with this, checking out all the things. So I'm just going to turn around here. So we'll get her back to the shed and sign off back there. Well, what a great Jeep to drive. As I said on the road, really enjoyed driving the CJ7. Standard is nice. So thanks for the drive, Tim.
Glad you made it, Michael. It was a fun afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for
Bit
showing
hot
us around.
though.
No.
But we survived, and even we didn't get too hot. That was good.
Another nice CJ7 we've got to show you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you later.